Our second guy that we've got on our list, Dante Moore, has provided a lot of excitement for an unexpected program that he chose to join. There was possibilities of him going to Notre Dame. There were debates on if he was going to pick Michigan or not. Instead, he is going to be playing for Oregon after his 2023 high school season is completed. So as I said, ranked number 2 per 247 Sports at Martin Luther King High School in Detroit, Michigan, 6'2.5", 210 pounds, and going to be playing for the Oregon Ducks. Guys, Dante Moore has been also described as possibly being better than Arch Manning. That if Arch wasn't in this class, or if Arch's last name wasn't Manning, it would be Dante Moore as the number 1 quarterback in the class. So Ryan, I got to ask this because I know you kind of think this and you share the sentiment. If you were to make that debate and make that alteration, why would you say that Dante's number 1?
I mean, because we talked about the mental side of the game for a second, right? And I think Dante Moore is the most advanced quarterback from a mental side that I've seen in this class, man. Like there's an innate understanding of how to throw with anticipation that is just so obvious on film. I think that his arm is good. It's plus. I think that it's in the realm of an Arch Manning. I don't think he definitely doesn't have the strongest arm of quarterbacks, a couple other quarterbacks that we're talking about today, but his arm is more than good enough. Very good decision maker, man. He just has a great eyes, great feel for the game, Joe. You can see him even in this offense going from first to second read. This isn't just a half field type of offense. They ask a lot of Dante Moore. And I think Dante Moore is kind of in the similar vein of a CJ Stroud in the sense that he's a good athlete, but he just isn't a good athlete to extend the football and to throw as a passer. He's not a runner, even though he could be. So from the mental side, from the accuracy perspective, I think Dante Moore's excellent, man. And I don't hide my opinion here that I do think that he is the best quarterback in the 2023 class. And again, I think it comes back to the fact that I think that he's just a very mature and advanced passer with the understanding of how to throw the football and to work through progressions in the passing game.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think one of the things that jumped out at me is just how quickly he can get the football out of his hands when he's set to throw. The other impressive thing about Dante Moore, which I saw a little bit more compared to Arch Manning, was his flexibility in his limber arm allows him to throw from a lot of funny positions on the run and in the pocket. And of course, that's something that obviously is a little bit more popular in today's game, but it is something that does pop on his film more often than not. And I think you're kind of lowballing him a little bit as far as his arm strength. I think he can drive the ball down the field pretty well. I think he's, through a lot of the highlights that I saw with him, a lot of powerful throws on the line, 25, 30 yards down the field and looking like it's done with relative ease. It's not like there's this 9-yard hitch up and, rip it. It looks relaxed. It looks simple, and I think that is a credit to the fact that his arm has that natural, just elastic whip to it. The cool thing too for him is that I think he's running an offense that is, a little similar in style to the college that he's going to. It's very open. It seems like, the offense is kind of focused around him and him making the right decision more often than not. And I think it's something that is very impressive that, he's going to something that for him, at least, it's not a known entity that's hey, we're going to be this great, quarterback place at Oregon, or at least not as of yet.
Yep. But
he is going there and he is going to kind of, at least start a new style, right? A new, mojo to that area, and I think it's cool that he's taking maybe that risk of saying yeah, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to try to do this and, kind of be at the forefront of Oregon taking back over, this whole Pac-12.
Matt, for me, he is the perfect modern college spread quarterback. Like you said it, from throwing from different arm angles and changing his platform and doing all that type of stuff. Very natural thrower, and he's just kind of that whip out there, man. He can get the ball out quick, whether it's in the screen game, the RPO game. He is that quick decision maker, right? So I think that's a tremendous fit with this offense. I mean, if they're running anything similar to what they were, I know Dillingham is the offensive coordinator, but even some elements of what Stetson Bennett's been able to do with Georgia over the last couple of years, that is the perfect fit for him because he's just such a quick, accurate quarterback and a decisive decision maker at the quarterback position.
Absolutely. And I think one of the plays that really stood out to me was he was running to his left, and I mean running pretty hard to his left. So like he was getting up a little bit, and he just threw a laser beam from 35 yards out to the front pylon for a touchdown. And those are plays that really jump out. And I think that's why there are some people out there that when they see those plays, they're like, hey, this guy has to be, one of the top QBs. So because he just makes some of those look so easy, and, just throwing in tight windows, throwing it aggressively. I think he does play in a league that is, pretty tough. There does look like there's a lot of good football players on the field. And, I was really impressed. I was really impressed with just his able to get his feet set and throw it really quickly too. And, everybody says footwork, but it's just like, what do you mean by that? And I think he's able to move, set, plant his feet, and then create a lot of torque and power in a very quick time frame. And I think that's one of the things too that really jumped off the screen to me.
And I think there's sometimes too, Matt, where like some guys will get their base, get their feet and their base kind of disconnected from their upper body a little bit, right? Where they just tarnish their accuracy, man. And for me, Dante Moore is always connected. Even when he's throwing off platform from different arm angles, he's still able to maintain that accuracy because he's just got such quick feet and keeps his base under him at all times, right? So again, I think that's where that quick decision maker comes in because his base is just always solid to me. He's always in rhythm.
And this is where I'm going to give you like a little Sims complete QB, knowledge. So what we do, right, and what we coach, right, and I'll coach both of you on how to throw it better too at one point, right, is it doesn't really matter if his feet are perfectly set, but what he does do is that he does, manipulate his upper body to allow him to stay tall and to rotate around the throw a lot. And if you can learn to separate your lower body from your upper body, like you see Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and Justin Herbert do a lot, those are the things that you're just like, you see it, you're like, oh, wow, that's super easy. Wow, this guy's talented, but you just don't know how difficult that is for, the common man, to make those throws. And that's why, he is an exciting football player that way, because I do think he has that ability at such a young age.
Always love getting the coaching points. And just Matt, just wait till we get the specialists, man. We're going to get into the weeds of long snapping, and it is going to be the best episode of the.
Hey, I long snapped in high school, man. I was the backup long snapper. Really? Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to do it, but they put me out there anyway for the second team just in case.
I also had to be a long snapper in high school, Joe. So I feel the pain for Matt on this one.
Yeah. But just to wrap up on Dante Moore, it's really funny as you were talking about Ryan, what Dillingham looks for in his offensive play calling and his quarterbacks. They have Bo Nix now, I feel like, is the complete opposite of what they need. And they're getting Dante Moore, who actually brings that improviser style, that ability to hit those tight windows and move on the run and actually do it consistently and accurately, unlike Bo, who tends to run in circles a little bit.